Welcome back to What's New with ME, the show that dives into chaos so you don't have to drown in the headlines. Today's lineup: the government's so broke, the White House is under construction, Trump's under the MRI, and the world's under tension from Venezuela all the way to Tokyo. And Spain nearly caught fire again thanks to Real Madrid, and Barcelona reminded us what real drama looks like. Let's get right into it. Segment 1, government shutdown when paychecks stop, but planes still fly. Mehdaoui in here. We are entering week 4 of the government shutdown, and while politicians are still debating whose fault is it, America's airport workers are living it in real time. Over 60,000 air safety workers, including TSA agents and air traffic controllers, are still showing up every single day. Wait for it. Unpaid. Imagine keeping a 747 from colliding at 30,000 feet while your rent reminder pings you in your phone mid-shift. The FAA reports staffing shortages are now significantly affecting operations. That's bureaucratic for your flight is late again. So for the underserved and rural communities, it's even worse. Programs like Essential Air Services, which keep small town airports alive, may stall completely. Now, what does that mean? Well, rural populations already underserved could lose their only affordable flight routes. When shutdowns hit, it's not the lobbyists or senators who actually feel it first. It's the screeners, the janitors, single parents, and service vendors. So next time you hear non-essential government employees, remember, the non-essential part does not mean unnecessary. Segment 2, the White House demolition and ballroom drama. All right. Meanwhile, oh boy, at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the East Wing has officially become a construction site. Demolition began last week to make way for a 90,000 square foot ballroom courtesy of President Donald J. Trump's latest modernization plan. Price tag around $300 million. Supporters call it a tribute to American greatness. Critics call it a wedding venue with nuclear codes. Historic preservation groups are furious, saying the project hasn't even cleared full approval from National Capital Planning Commission. And rumors swirl that private donors are funding it, raising ethical questions about whether the people's house is slowly becoming the patron's palace. Look, if you're going to throw a presidential party in the middle of a government shutdown, at the very least, invite TSA agents who cannot afford snacks at the airport. President Trump revealed that he underwent an MRI earlier this month at Walter Reed Medical Center, calling the result perfect. No further details were given, not which part of the body, not why, just perfect. When politicians use words like perfect, journalists start Googling synonyms for cover-up. Reports earlier this year confirmed Donald Trump had chronic venous insufficiency, essentially circulation issues in his legs. Doctors say MRIs aren't part of the routine checkups unless there is something to actually check up on. But hey, transparency in politics is like Bigfoot. People claim it exists, but all we ever get are blurry photos and cryptic statements. Segment 4, Trump's Asia trip, deals, optics, and global theater. President Trump is on the move again, literally. He landed in Tokyo today as part of a multinational Asia tour following the Asian Summit in Malaysia. He'll meet Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takashi, making her first sit down with a U.S. president. But the real headline, a possible breakthrough trade agreement with China. Negotiators say they've reached an initial consensus. Political talk for we shook hands, but nothing signed yet. Analysts call this trip a reset for U.S. China diplomacy. We are hoping. Critics call it season 3 of The Art of the Deal. Donald Trump also hinted at a possible meeting with Kim Jong un. The White House later clarified that there are no current plans, which in Trump's world means there might be plans. Either way, the tour underscores how foreign trips are the ultimate political detox. Get out of Washington, go shake some hands, and pretend the ballroom back home isn't under demolition. Segment 5, Venezuelan waters and U.S. military tensions. The U.S. Navy's destroyer USS Gravely docked in Trinidad and Tobago this weekend, part of a growing American naval presence near Venezuela. The Pentagon says the mission targets narco-terrorist activities in Venezuela. Venezuela calls it a military provocation orchestrated by the CIA. Meanwhile, U.S. strikes on suspected drug boats have reignited debate about war powers, oversights, and whether the operations are legally sound. The reality? For sailors on deck and civilians on shores, politics fade. You're left with two groups of people staring across the same waters, each convinced the other is the aggressor. Segment 6. The fiery Real Madrid FC Barcelona. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to Spain, where there was plenty of action and did not involve government shutdowns or MRIs. At the Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid edged Barcelona 2-1 in a fiery El Clasico that had everything: brilliance, chaos, a missed penalty, and enough drama to fuel Spanish telenovelas for a year. Key moments: Mbappe scored early, proving again that he's allergic to low-profile games. Barcelona Fermin Lopez equalized, reminded us that even giants slip. Then Jude Bellingham, the new face of football, composure, sealed it with a winner before halftime. Mbappe later missed a penalty. Pedri saw a red card, and Vinicius Jr., well, him and Yamal exchanged a few kind words, let's just say, after the whistle. Madrid fans calls it revenge. Barcelona fans call it rigged. And neutral fans, like myself, we just call it a Clasico. Football mirrors politics, passion, rivalry, pride, and at times, complete lack of self-awareness. In both, everyone claims victory, even when the scoreboard says otherwise. So this week showed us something simple. Power and pride often collide, whether it's nations, leaders, or La Liga teams. But behind every headline, from unpaid TSA workers to construction crews at the White House, there are real people carrying the weight of decisions made way, way above their pay grade. And while we scroll, shout, and speculate, let's remember, empathy does not have to be a political party. It's the one currency that still holds its value, even when governments shut down. I'm Ali Mehdaoui, and this has been What's New with ME. Stay smart, stay grounded, and maybe stay off X until the next MRI results come up. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, Spotify, and Apple podcast channels for more daily breakdown from the ME studios in Edentown, right next to the future Netflix studios, or visit themestudios.net for full episodes, press features, and production booking. Until next time, have a blessed day, everybody.